From the Skyterra Wellness Retreat, this is the Inspired Intentions Podcast, where we help people build the skills and mindset to live a healthy life. Inspired Intentions listeners, welcome back again on this lovely Monday. I have a duet for you today.
Hi, listeners.
Once again, Rachel and I are in the booth together, same episode, and this time we have something fun and heartwarming planned for you.
Yes. And I think, Alan, I love the genesis of this episode because this is just something that we both noticed about each other. We're both dog lovers.
Very much so.
We both have dogs that we love and spoil.
And one of them's in the booth right now.
That's right. Listeners, you may not know this, but Rosie has been a frequent guest in our podcast lately. You have never heard from her, knock on wood. And so we just have her in the booth to help us feel a little bit more relaxed. And Alan, your dog Laurel sometimes joins us as well, and we have pictures of that.
Yeah. And Rosie is the perfect podcast dog. Doesn't make a single noise, always very enthusiastic.
Let's not press our luck.
But that brings us to our topic. We're here today to talk about the psychology behind being a pet owner and how it's good for your mental and physical health.
Yes. And so you listeners, if you have pets, you may feel this already, but we're going to give you some concrete information as to why it is great for your mental health to own a pet, dog, cat, or whatever else you might have.
Really anything. Now, we're both dog owners, so we may reference dogs a lot, but it applies to any animal you could possibly get. I even saw a really fun study that we'll talk about that said a rabbit's great for you if you have allergies to other pets.
Yeah, so one of the places where we found some information was the American Psychiatric Association did a poll and got some pretty clear results, which is, of course, that pets offer mental health benefits. And a majority of people, 86%, said their pets have a mostly positive impact on their mental health. And there was no difference really between dog owners and cat owners, which I thought was interesting because people are very, I think, staunchly, I'm either a dog person or I'm a cat person.
Very true. I'm definitely a dog person.
I'm definitely a dog person, for sure. I feel like cats are like judging you. No disrespect to our cat-loving listeners. We love you, of course.
But that's really interesting. No difference between dog and cat. It is a 1% difference between the two. I thought that it would have been larger, honestly, but maybe that's just the dog owner in me.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And there were some mental health benefits cited in the study. 69% of people said they felt like their pets helped reduce stress and anxiety. And then the same number of people said they felt like they had received unconditional love and support, which I can say for sure is true. Mm-hmm. And then also companionship was another big key piece of this. What pets can do to help you, and then provide a calming presence.
Right.
And then our true friends. 63% of people said they feel like their pets are their true friends, which they're so loyal. And so it's, really easy to feel that.
And I think that that's a really good point for listeners that have been here before and have brought their pet, right? I think that having that reduction of stress and anxiety, having your pet owner on campus here with you, that's a really great way to kind of get in the groove when you get here to Skyterra, and something that I know a lot of folks come here just because they can bring their pets along with them.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, Alan, because we see, on the marketing and the reservation side, we'll be talking to potential guests on the phone, and maybe they've never been to Skyterra before, and, our team will describe what it's like to be here, and then, they'll get at the end of the conversation, and they'll more than likely say something like, well, that sounds great. I just need to find a dog sitter or someone to watch my cat. And then we say, well, guess what? You can bring your pet to Skyterra. We have 10 cottages that allow pets, and they're always just so surprised and grateful to be able to do that. And sometimes, of course, guests choose not to do that. They want to focus entirely on themselves. It's completely up to what you want to do. But if you do want to bring your pet, you're absolutely welcome to.
And there's a lot of correlation between, the chemical emotion, the chemicals in your brain that get released when you're able to play with a pet, that when you're able to nurture, take care of, but also receive that love back from them. There was, can I just point out that there's a tremendous amount of studies out there about pets and psychology and health. I mean, when I was looking into this, there's hundreds of them. And it's really hard to narrow this down to one piece. But one that I found really, really interesting is that playing with a dog or cat can really elevate the dopamine and serotonin levels in your
Oh,
brain
interesting.
almost instantly, even if you just see one. It doesn't have to be your animal. You can just see one, and it has that effect, and it can add that calm and that relaxation almost immediately.
I know exactly what you're saying. My husband and I like to go for walks. We don't bring Rosie because we like to walk pretty far, and she'll walk far, but then she likes to be carried. But if we see a dog, we both stop whatever conversation that we're having and make some remark to each other about the dog or try to interact if the owner is willing. And you just feel, you feel that surge of those feel good hormones.
Yeah, and I mean, so right before we got in the booth, I showed you guys a picture of what?
A puppy.
A puppy that my girlfriend had sent me and said we should get.
Which we all endorse. You need to get that puppy.
I understand. It's an adorable dog, but like we all stopped what we were doing and had a positive reaction just to even seeing it.
Yes. I think
a picture, not even the real thing.
Yes. Well, it was a very cute picture.
It was a very cute picture.
Yeah. One more thing I thought was interesting, just going back to that dog versus cat thing. Okay, get this, Alan. Cat owners are more likely than dog owners to say that their pets offer companionship, a calming presence, and reduce stress and anxiety. So cats and cat owners feel like cats do that more often. Dog owners, twice as likely as cat owners, to say that their pet encourages them to be physically active, which makes total sense.
Makes total sense. And one study that I read was in relation to this was also in the older community. So older Americans that have pets tend to walk about 45 minutes more per day just because they have that pet. And when you start to break that down into like what we prescribe as like the optimal physical week, that 30, 45 minutes a day is exactly what we're talking about. And that's huge.
Yeah. Just that movement. I think too, no matter what size dog you have, Rosie, of course, is 6 pounds. But from the beginning, I walk her a lot. I also run with her. And she's 11, so she doesn't run as far as she used to. But it doesn't matter. Dogs want to be moving. Dogs want to be active, especially when it's beautiful outside like it is most days.
Yeah, and I mean, to speak to that even further, my pup Laurel, very high energy. She just turned 3 a few days ago, actually. When I'm not feeling it after a long day at work and I come home and I get that, dopamine serotonin boost from her coming up and wagging her tail and everything, and then Lydia gets home, we're like, all right, we should go chuck it for her. And like we end up being outside more, being happier and more active, just out of the need of feeling that we need to exercise Laurel because she has that shepherd in her, but also just that love and that want to take care of her as well. Along the age route again, one study that I read same one that was talking about how they get outside 30 to 45 minutes more, those same pet owners that are over the age of 65 are 30% less likely to go to the doctor. Fewer doctor visits by almost 30% if they own a pet, specifically one that they have to be out and active with.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That's significant too.
30%'s a lot.
Okay, Alan. So let me ask you this. Does Laurel have any clothing?
She's got two things of clothing.
What does she have?
I never thought that I would own a dog that had clothes. I'll be honest with all the listeners out there, but you'll be surprised, maybe not. The first article of clothing she has is a puffy coat.
Yes.
So you can imagine Lydia and I do a lot of outdoor things.
Yes.
Even in the cold weather. she has a puffy coat. It is functional, not style.
Okay.
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 So functional coat. Second thing, a life jacket. Again,
Oh, okay.
outside function.
Yes.
During the summertime, we are on the water a lot.
Does it have a handle on the back?
It's got a handle on the top. She's basically a briefcase, and she just relaxes. Her legs just go kind of limp, and she just hangs there. She knows what's going on. But you can just pick her up. You can throw her, because we run whitewater in the raft during the summertime. And if she was to happen to fall out, I want her to float. And so 2 pieces of clothing, very functional.
Functional, no fashion. Will you ask me that question?
Yeah. I already know the answer, though. But yes, does Rosie have clothing?
So, listeners, I just wanted the chance to describe it. Rosie has a black turtleneck with white stripes and little bell sleeves that she's wearing today. But the main reason why I brought this up is Rosie has a Josh Allen jersey. I just wondered if Laurel had a Giants jersey.
No.
Or she might need a Josh Allen jersey.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, I am a Giants fan, and Lydia is a Bills fan.
Go Bills.
So, and obviously Rachel's a Bills fan. That'd be a bit of a house divided in its own way. So I haven't quite gone that far, but I've considered getting her a Giants something.
Yes, you should. You should, so she can rep game day. Okay, Alan, so this is normally the part in the podcast where we tell listeners some things that they can do and give them some resources and tell them how great it is here at Skyterra. So, of course, come to Skyterra. You can bring your furry friends. If you don't have a pet, you can get mental health benefits from some of the pets that are already here on campus.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I did also find hashtag pause for the number 4 mental health, which is if you post photos of your pets on social media, hashtag pause for mental health, or if you want to search on that hashtag, you'll be able to see. Yeah, you'll be able to see all of the ways that dogs are helping their owners feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just to recap, even some more stuff, reduction of anxiety, help you meet new people, that need for companionship that we have in humans, and that increased exercise and extra movement. There's so many benefits.
Yes, so many benefits. Well, this has been great, Alan. We should have had Laurel in the booth.
I know, I missed the mark on that one.
Yeah.
That's my bad. She's probably super pissed about it.
I think she is. She's definitely an Inspired Intentions listener.
Yeah. Well, we'll get her in here next time. Listeners, if you have more questions about pets here on campus, pets in general, there's a lot of studies out there. Again, I wish we could get to all of them in one podcast, but shoot us an email at inspiredintentions@skyterrawellness.com, and we will get you guys some more info. And until then, we will see you next week.
Thanks so much, Alan.
Thanks, Rachel.
Bye. The Inspired Intentions podcast is a production of Skyterra Wellness Retreat. Special thanks to our executive producer, Alan Broyhill. Send us your questions and comments to inspiredintentions@skyterrawellness.com. Subscribe on iTunes and everywhere podcasts can be found. If someone you know might benefit from this podcast, share Inspired Intentions with them and give us a 5-star rating. Join us next week as we cut through the unrealistic noise on diets and fitness and show you how healthy living fits seamlessly into your already busy life. Thanks for listening.